it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, August 15th. So this moon ruled day will have us a little bit fired up, a little bit jacked up, very assertive, hella straightforward because the moon is in Aries. Aries is a fire sign, is the very first sign of the zodiac wheel, and we are definitely ready to move on and break free from some of the things that we've identified holding us back in the past, only to move forward, to muster up a brand new courage and bravery, a brand new energy and spirit and attitude to keep trucking forward. So with this moon energy pushing us here today, there are 9 different aspects and 7 of them will involve the moon. The moon in Aries is going to semi-square Saturn. And if you listen to yesterday's energy forecast, you would know that Mr. Saturn and the sun had a little bit of an opposition. We're definitely still within orb there, kind of brought us down a couple of pegs, gave us a little bit of a reality check. Negative Nancy and Betty the Bully likely came out to make an appearance, and the moon right now interacting with Saturn is definitely putting us at odds because, again, the moon in Aries just wants to take action and move forward and constantly be making progress in this new path, in this new direction, while Mr. Saturn over here, the Lord of Karma, ruling over roles and responsibilities, wants to pump the brakes, wants us to slow down, wants us to think very logically and practically and strategically about the moves that we are going to make. And that is the last thing that this Aries energy wants us to do, because Aries energy doesn't really want to think long term, wants to live in the moment, do what we can now, and deal with the consequences later. So this semi-square is going to feel a little bit awkward, a little bit uncomfortable, because the get up and go that we got going on in our inner realm is blocked by the physical obstacles, challenges, and circumstances in our physical realm, preventing us from actually exerting ourselves and asserting ourselves in the way that we would actually like. The moon is going to go ahead and make an interaction with the sun in Leo. This is fire on fire. Aries energy, Leo energy, fire on fire. The moon energy is our emotions, our intuition, our memories, our unconscious self, very connected to the past, while the sun is shining a bright light on what it is that we have to start pouring into if we want to create a new reality for ourselves. The moon and the sun always interacting leaves us in this very weird state of being because the past is kind of in our face, the future is in our face, and what we're left with is this present moment where we have a choice, we have a decision on what it is that we need to let go of in order to free up the space in our mind, in our heart space, in our lives to actually embody the new. The moon will be conjunct, sitting next to, bumping into Jupiter. Jupiter, again, about growth and improvement and progress and blessings and abundance, is retrograde in this Aries energy. There is a lot of reflection going on, especially back to April and May, eclipse season, if you will, around the same time that Jupiter moved into Aries energy. This particular energy is going to have us again, reflecting on where it is that maybe we pushed too hard back then to make some changes, to push ourselves into a different path, a different direction. And maybe with an opportunity to do things differently the second time around, we would make different choices and different decisions. Now, keep in mind, many of us going through a rebranding, a reinvention of self. And the moon in Aries definitely highlighting for us where we have to blaze through some of the emotions, some of the memories of our past in order to actually break free, lighten the vibe, align with the new reality that we're trying to manifest. And of course, Jupiter is here to magnify what it is that we have to redo. What kind of growth process have we gone through since April and May? What kind of reinvention have we been trying to bring to life within ourselves? What kind of opportunities may we have missed by trying to pursue something that we had tunnel vision on that maybe wasn't as quite successful as we had hoped. There's going to be a huge amount of fire energy with this. We are going to be very, very intense with what it is that we want more of. We have another aspect here later in the day where Jupiter's going to amplify what it is that we want more of in life. But right now, we're just fired up. We are ready to move forward. We're reflecting back in order to figure out how we're going to exert our energy in moving forward when given the second chance to do so. The moon is going to interact in a very positive way with Pluto. Pluto, the god of the underworld, ruling over transformation. The transformation starts first in the psyche, second in the heart space, third in our physical realm. The moon in Aries is a perfect energy for this because we are not as caught up with the past, with our fears, with the blocks, with the challenges. We really don't give an F at this point. We are ready to move forward. We are ready to cut through whatever cords are holding us back. And of course, Pluto is illuminating for us where it is that, you know what, our past experiences are actually creating a little bit of a fear paralysis for us at this particular point. And the moon in Aries, we're not buying it. We're not having it. We just want to push forward. We're cutting through a lot of the mental crap, a lot of the emotional crap that's holding us back, creating a lot of fears and doubts and insecurities in our ability to actually make a change and assert ourselves in the pursuit of a new happiness, a new passion, a new desire. And this positive interaction is definitely going to have us renewing ourselves, our spirit, our attitude, our inspiration, our motivation to actually get up and go, to do something with our lives, to make a change and make a difference. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, information, communication, how we express ourselves, who is in its place of power in Virgo energy, is trining, beautiful energy, with the true node. The true node, of course, in Taurus energy, in Earth energy, Virgo in Earth energy as well. That's how we get our trine. And what we're about to realize here is a step in the path moving forward, making progress. Now, keep in mind, Mercury in Virgo in its place of power is all about mind over matter. This particular energy is super helpful because, again, this Virgo energy, very analytical, doing a deep dive in oneself to figure out where the problems are so that we can solve it. Now, this particular energy is showing us where it is in reflection that we've made a lot of growth. We've made a lot of improvements. And in this present moment, taking stock, taking inventory, what it is we need to focus on now, what it is that we need to heal now. This true node is our soul's path, our destiny point, and it's constantly wanting us to get on the right path in order to get to our soul's mission, our soul's purpose. This particular energy can also usher in a lot of brand new information, a lot of details, even connect with people, opportunities, if you will, that's going to push us to the next level of our growth, to put us in a position to see where it is that we need to be a little bit more aggressive in life to make things happen, what it is that we need to improve upon, even if it is our mental narrative. Regardless, there is some kind of shift taking place with this aspect that will push us forward, at least give us the clarity on where it is that we can move forward. The moon is going to semi-square Mars. Again, this is a little bit of a tension point. Mars rules over Aries energy, so there's always a little bit of a oomph when we have the ruler of the moon energy interacting with the moon. The semi-square is a tension point, is a conflict point, but for good reason. We need to feel this tension, this intensity, if you will, in order to actually make a change. Mars being in the final degrees of Taurus. Again, if you haven't listened to the ascension forecast for the week, go ahead and take a listen. We are building to a huge shift here at the end of the week, but we do have to sort out some details. And Mars, of course, being the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires in this Taurus energy, wants to get things done, wants to be productive, wants to see growth, wants to see improvement. And what I will say is that emotionally speaking, we feel this stop-go energy, this gas and brake energy, because the moon in Aries, again, wants to push forward, wants to take action and make moves. And Mars, although he would love to do so, is kind of stunted by this low and slow earth energy of Taurus. So we do have to kind of be a little bit more strategic. We have to think about, the plans that we have, about how we're going to exert ourselves so that we're not wasting energy. One of the big things with Aries energy is that we tend to just jump into things, burn ourselves out, and never see the end goal. We want to avoid that, but it has been a little bit irritating and frustrating to have those kinds of patience when we're so eagerly awaiting to actually start building the new foundation for the reality that we are looking to manifest. The moon conjuncts, bumps into, sits next to, has a great chat with Chiron. Chiron, the wounded healer, is retrograde in Aries energy as well. Now, this could manifest in a couple of ways. I'm going to break it down for you so that you can be aware of how it's manifesting in your body and in your life. First of all, we could do some major healing in our emotions, mostly because this Aries energy that the moon is in, again, doesn't want to fuss with the past, has no problem cutting the cord, no problem just turning that rearview mirror around altogether so that we're not looking back. And with that, we're making some very good progress just by, again, creating distance from the past elements that are constantly keeping us in a state of doubt and insecurity and fear. Now, this particular energy could have us healing some very emotional wounds that, again, has prevented us from actually mustering up the courage and the bravery to move forward. Or it could expose the wounds altogether, especially where irritation, frustration, and anger is concerned. This Aries energy can throw a tantrum in 60 seconds and then be over it just as quick. And then, of course, look around and see the damage that would have caused the people around them and have to clean up that particular mess as well. We want to avoid creating more wounds within ourselves and wounds in other people. So again, be very mindful on how this fire energy is going to manifest in your life. So here is when we have a pretty big aspect taking place. This is between the Sun and Jupiter. The Sun is in Leo, wrapping up its last week in Leo season. Jupiter is retrograde in Aries energy. We got a fire on fire action here, but this interaction isn't the most harmonious, let's say. What this is going to do is create a lot of discontent, a lot of restlessness, a lot of ants in our pants. We aren't okay. We aren't satisfied with our current circumstances. Jupiter, again, magnifies whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling and whatever it is that we're focused on. And right now, we're focused on what we want more of out of life, what we are currently lacking out of life, which puts us in a lack and scarcity mindset, which is never good. And we could feel very overwhelmed. Everything can be too much for us. This is a very unstable mood. This is a very elevated mood. Like we're manic. We're jacked up. We want more. We want more love. We want more money. We want more stability. We want more experience. We want more, whatever the case may be. We're all jacked up. We see the greater, grander picture here. We have the Leo energy just in line with that heart space with new passions, wants, needs, and desires, firing us up, seeing the great grand picture. And then we have Jupiter magnifying that, turning the volume all the way up on these particular thoughts and dreams and emotions. And it can become over exaggerated. We can get hella dramatic. We can be a little bit much, even within ourselves, let alone to other people. So this is, we might get a peak energy out of this, feeling good and optimistic and confident. But again, it's almost like we're biting off more than we can chew because we're so fixated on what it is that we want more of that, we kind of lose sight on what it is that we're currently living. And may I remind you, many of us, even in uncomfortable circumstances that we want to change right now, are living out a circumstance that we once prayed for. So it's important to have the attitude of gratitude, even in a situation that you are actively looking to change. Lastly, we have the moon interacting with the true node in such a way that would provide us with an opportunity to make a choice, to make a decision, to pour our energy, our emotions, our mental plane, our physical aggression, let's say, into making a step forward. Now, this could put us at odds because we might want to push forward and the direction that we want to push forward in isn't ready for us to push forward. Therefore, we're going to have to bang our head against a wall and feel frustrated and blocked and challenged, which of course is going to make us throw a little bit of a tantrum. Or we could be presented with an opportunity to make a choice, to align with a new narrative, a new path, a new focus, or to actually take an action, take a baby step moving forward, which is going to validate not only for ourselves, but for the universe that we're pretty serious about this new path, this new direction, this new reality that we want to bring to life. The true note, again, our soul's destiny point, trying to get us on the right track. We just have to calm our fire energy from the moon being in Aries down just a tad so that we have control over it, so that we're not just out here, doing things, saying things, popping off for the sake of just sitting in this sparky, fiery, aggressive energy. We really have to be calculated. We have to be thinking very carefully. We have to control our energy so that we're not wasting it and we're using it in all the right ways.